Today at Commander Replay, we're back with some more Syr Gwyn Night Tribal. Will opponents keep finding ways to go over the top of us? Find out next on Commander Replay. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. We have one new Patreon supporter in Adam Cruz. And Adam says, "Brian Cruz, you still suck. Sincerely, Adam." Anyway, you guys are awesome, despite the previous note about sucking. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon, the link below. And be sure to use the TCG Player affiliate link, as it helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some more Syr Gwyn, Hero of Ashvale. And today we're playing some Night Tribal, and specifically today I'm trying out this Indestructible Knights build. We'll see how it goes, but the idea is we're playing a lot of equipments that give Indestructible or Pro Red. And we've got a pretty decent amount of board wipes in the deck. The idea is that they should all be one-sided, and whenever we lay one down, our stuff should be protected from it, and should only be blown up our opponent's stuff. Our opening hand is a bit slow, but it does have mana. He's got 2 fetch lands, so we can get every color, so I guess it's keepable on that. This deck struggles with balance issues pretty heavily in terms of the more ramp you have, the less removal, the less creatures, etc., etc. You're trying to balance ramp, removal, creatures, equipment, and other stuff, and it gets really tricky to do that. So our first turn, we draw a Swords of Plowshares. That'll be nice, actually. That can keep things from spiraling out of control too quickly. Let's play the Verdant Catacombs right here. Crack the Verdant Catacombs. Thinking of Badlands is where we want to be. Get Badlands. Pass turn. Comes a Soul Ring for opponent. Yep. Probably going to want that Swords for that Etlai. And a Fire Diamond. All the ramp. Elixir of Immortality for opponent. Yep. There's an Isolated Chapel. That's actually pretty helpful. I don't know if Etlai's coming this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to play the Flooded Strand in hopes of getting our Mistveil Plains. But if we need to get a white land untapped to shoot Etlai, we might do that. It's a Neheb. That's not amazing. Well, I guess we don't need to shoot it right now, so crack the Flooded Strand. Get the Mistveil Plains. Sylvan Library for the Tymna opponent. So as I mentioned, we're playing Night Tribal, trying to do this Indestructible Knights thing. I wanted to go all of the pro-red swords and as many red board wipes as I could fit, but you really run out of room doing that. The deck just gets crowded so quickly. The only way to really make it happen is to cut down the number of creatures in the deck, so that might be one way to do it. And, you know, I don't expect that this will win particularly fast, but the idea is that you can make sure your opponents basically have nothing through most of the game, while your knights just kind of sit there, at least until they try to do something about it. They're going to need some sort of exile or artifact removal. So, you know, the idea is that your stuff just stays in play. Should be reasonably effective, but I don't think it's going to be the fastest deck that anyone's ever seen. So, yeah. That brings it back to our turn. We've got choices, Isolated Chapel. Wheels are a thing. Especially against an Etlai deck, so let's play the Hameware Battlements. Opponent going on the attack with Neheb. Yep, that's going to be just a little too much mana, so we're going to shoot the Neheb. Swords on Neheb. And we drew the other end last turn. That's actually helpful if Etlai comes down right here as well. So Neheb into exile, and Etlai coming into play. Sylvan Library trigger for our opponent. So take a look at what our opponents are playing. First up, we have Mockfire playing Etlai Primal Storm, and they've played 4 or 5 games with us today. They've had a lot of bad luck of Etlai just being shot over and over again. Basically a magnet for spot removal, and it kind of has to be. You can survive 1 attack from Etlai. 2 attacks from Etlai is probably a lot of value that's really hard to stop. More than 2 is probably going to be game losing in almost all aspects, because that's just a lot of free cards. And we've seen Eldrazi in their deck, so we really don't want them attacking with Etlai and risking Eldrazi coming into play for freeze. Next up, we have Nate piloting Tana the Bloodsower and Tymna the Weaver. This is not a Blood Pod deck. It's just a token deck. He does play a lot of Blood Pod, but we're playing a more chill game today. I told everyone, this is Night Tribal. This deck is not looking to go crazy. And then finally, we have Kithron piloting Torbran, Thane of Redfell. Fun little commander. He plays the Shenanigans, shoots the Soul Ring, plays a Throes of Chaos and cascades. I didn't see what he cascaded, but something happened over there. Let us go ahead and play this. I guess we're going to play the Sunholm again in case of the wheel. And then we utter end on Etlai. Etlai down, and we'll pass the turn like that. Next turn, probably thinking about Thran Dynamo, Dark Steel Plate, Dwarven Mine for opponent. Creates a 1/1 red dwarf. Opponent plays a gamble. Super risky card. Discards a Chaos Warp. Plays an Anger. Yep. Can't do much about that, at least in the moment. Actually, Anger is safer in play than out of play. Anger into us. Yeah, we probably deserve that. Opponent said they gambled for Anger, trying to get Anger into the graveyard. Didn't pan out for him, but was a nice try nonetheless. Tymna into the Torbran opponent. Yep. Here comes Tana into play. Yep. This is a Burning Earth for opponent. Oh my. Whenever a player taps a non-basic land for mana, deals 1 damage to that player. That is a lot of lands for us. We have all non-basic lands. That is not great. There's a Godless Shrine. I guess that puts us on the snow-covered swamp. Let's get Thran Dynamo. We're going to lose 3 life to the Burning Earth. Yep. Get Dark Steel Plate. And pass the turn. There's an Aggravated Assault coming down. Oh, we need so much enchantment removal. I've already burned Utter End. We do have Mistveil Plains, but we need Sunforger and 2 white permanents to get that back. And with the Burning Earth, that just feels like a lot of life loss. We need to get a second red source for the Magma Quake, I'm just realizing. Sylvan Library for Tana Tymna. There's a Mana Crypt. There's a Bastion Protector. Oh, Bastion Protector. Actually, no, if we Magma Quake, the damage will stay on them, and they'll go down. So, not too worried about it. Opponent going to swing into the other 2 opponents. Tana will trigger. Opponent gets some tokens. Tymna will trigger. Get some card draw. Opponent taps their Ancient Tomb. That's going to get him for 3. Plays a Crawl Space. Yep, seems good against the token deck. True Conviction is a card that we would like to find in this game. Opponent's going to crack their Elixir of Immortality. Yeah, that's meaningful life gain right now. We draw Stoneforge Mystic. Let's get our Commander first, and then Stoneforge next turn for Sunforger. Seems like a plan. Get the Isolated Chapel. Get our Commander. I guess we could Stoneforge this turn. Dark Steel Plate on Syr Gwyn. Surprisingly, we only took 2 damage right there. Do I want opponents to know we have this? Let's see if we can do it all in one shot next turn. So we need 2 for the Stoneforge Mystic, 3 for Sunforger. That's the 5. And then we'd have free equip, 1 activation. Yeah, we can do it all next turn. And shoot the Burning Earth. Okay, yeah, that works. Token into the Torbran opponent. Yep. They've most definitely put a target on their back. Opponent's going to activate the Aggravated Assault on the token. Sure. Apparently they got a lot of nothing going. They must be 1 short of Etlai? Can't be too far away in Etlai. So if we had all the red swords in this deck, which is probably a place that I want to get to, then we could go for like War and Peace. Although War and Peace doesn't do a ton when you're low on cards. But the lifelink would be reasonable. Luxodon Warhammer is just always kind of a card you want. The lifelink is really, really helpful. But again, deck slots just get so tight. Ooh, that's a Grand Warlord Rathod. That does a couple things. That allows opponent to create mana without tapping lands. It's pretty helpful. And quite a bit of it. And Syr Gwyn holding up as a nice little blocker. Opponent's going to get 6 mana. 7 cards in hand. They're going to draw more. He can do a lot of things. As much as I want to go for Stoneforge Mystic, if we catch a second mountain for Magma Quake, might be on Magma Quake. Opponent draws cards, makes more tokens, gets a bunch of mana. There's a Woodland Bellower. Sulphurous Blast in this deck? It is not. That was one of the concessions I had to make to get the other board wipes in for what we're doing. Makes me sad. There's a Reclamation Sage. Whew, Burning Earth down. Saves us from having to deal with it. Luckily, we didn't take too much damage to it. Token opponent's starting to get out of control, though. We're going to need to find that second red for Magma Quake. That's a Reforge the Soul. I have pretty mixed feelings about this. Hope it gets better. Board wipes. That's bad. Pure Steel Paladin gets us a card draw. We get some mana ramp, which is needed. Return to Dust is probably needed. Aggravated Assault and Sylvan Library, maybe. Brings it back to our turn. There's a Cavalier of Flame. Play the Mana Crypt. Let's get Pure Steel Paladin. Play Helm of Cauldra. Pure Steel Paladin will get us a draw. It's a Hammer of Nazan. Play Hammer of Nazan? Yeah, I guess play Hammer of Nazan. Play Hammer of Nazan. Hope one of these turns into a Blasphemous Act. Pure Steel will trigger, and Hammer will trigger. Hammer onto the Pure Steel. It's a Scrubland. Nope, not what we were looking for. Put the Helm on Pure Steel. Free equip. Now has First Strike, Haste, and Trample. I guess we swing into Nate, try to trim down some of the tokens a bit. Yeah, I think that's the plan. Oh, he's got a Gavany Township. That's bad. That one doesn't have Vigilance. Well, we still need to attack. We need to draw cards. We draw Bojuka Bog. Nope. We draw a Plateau. Oh my god, the draws. Oh, yeah. I think I was happier before the wheel, honestly. He just takes the damage. No big deal. As much as I like Bojuka Bog, I think right here we need to get more red mana. If we Cavalier Flame, then we could cycle a lot of cards through our hand. So play Sacred Foundry, I guess. Play it untapped. Should have went for the Plateau, honestly. And then get the Worn Power Stone. Hope everything sticks, or that the red player has a Blasphemous Act. Dwarf into the Torbran opponent. Oh, that's an All Is Dust. That's fine. That's fine. We still got all our equipments. Yeah, opponent really trimmed out a lot of the nonsense right there with that All Is Dust, because a lot of value stuff for the Tana Tymna. And we kept most of our things. Koth of the Hammer coming into play. Love this card back in Standard. That was a super sweet iteration of Red Deck wins. Slag Storm and Shrine of Burning Rage. Yeah. Chandra's Phoenix. Opponent adds some mana. Yeah. Oh no, a Vandal Blast! Darksteel Plate will survive, but not much else. Opponent's going to Wild Guess and shuffle with a Kozilek. Yep. Brings it back to our turn. There's a Valiant Knight. What are we doing right here? We need triple red to get the Cavalier. We need an untapped land to get Syr Gwyn. I'm going to go for the Valiant Knight. Does that make sense? I really want to hit this Bojuka Bog before Eternal Witness or something like that happens. Yeah, I don't really want to wait on this Bojuka Bog any longer. So Bojuka Bog Nate, he likes Eternal Witness way too much. So exile that graveyard, get this Knight into play. We can make it haste. I don't think the 3 damage is like that. Maybe it is. We could blow up the Planeswalker. Yeah, give it haste. Was going to give it indestructible, but shut down the value. Nope, he's got a response. Just going to flash in. How's he flashing in an Oketra? You may cast creature spells as though they had flash. Cool. And Deathrite Shaman. Awesome. Well, that backfired tremendously. Here comes Etlai. It's going to have haste. Due to the anger in the graveyard. Going to swing it into the Koth, sure. Etlai triggers. Opponent gets our Vona, Butcher of Magan. Can't say I wanted to lose that one. Next thing we want to do is find a homeward path. Also going to get themselves a Craterhoof Behemoth and a Steel Hellkite. At least Nate doesn't have the Craterhoof Behemoth. That would probably end the game. And I guess that's why we've been shooting Etlai all game, because plays like that can happen. Opponent's going to destroy the God Eternal Oketra. Sweet. God Eternal Oketra. Into the graveyard. It'll do the reshuffle thing. Opponent does lose some life doing that. Comes a Sword of Feast and Famine for opponent. Yep. Equip the Feast and Famine on the token. I think we're probably taking a hit right here. Yep. That we are. No blocks. Discard the Urborg, I guess. His land's on tap. That's an Elish Norn. How much does that actually do? Not that much. Lessens the damage, doesn't solve the problem. But Steel Hellkite is a real card. So is the Vona. I imagine that these two are going to duke it out. Unless there's a board wipe right here. Acidic Soil. Deals damage to each player equal to the number of lands. What? Oh my. Is that necessary? We go down to 13. Opponents are at 18, 18, 9, and we're at 13. Oh, that means we die to, like, most things. Price of Progress, I'm guessing, is coming next. Treasure Map. We need a big draw. Route? Lena. Give our things indestructible. Makes a couple tokens. We'll be on 9 mana. Think... Play the Plateau. Play Cavalier Flame. These 3 cards don't really solve the problem. Lena, I guess Lena's okay, but... I mean, it just, like, has to be a board wipe. I think I'm just going all 3. I mean, I like Lena, but it's not what we need right here. Return to Dust is also pretty good, but I think we're just going to have to try to get Sunforge. Like, we need more than that. Well, there's Sunforger. Obviously don't have the mana for it. Our commander is going to be on 8. We'll probably just have to hardcast Sunforger next turn. If we indestructible the Cavalier, that gives us a blocker against a lot of things. Yeah, seems like we should probably do it. I was thinking about not doing it just for the damage, but it's not going to be enough to actually kill anyone. So it would just be annoying, but not solve the problem. So we'll Darksteel Plate on the Cavalier. And now we just need to play the Hope We Survive game. Good news is that with Elesh Norn and Sword of Feast and Famine in play, that should take away a lot of the focus from us. But opponent could just cough down more creatures with haste right here, and that would be super bad. It's an Aetherflux Reservoir. That's life gain. It's good this late in the game. All the stuff from Torbran. Hellkite's coming our way. That is very surprising. Opponent's going to Vona and shoot the Elesh Norn. And then here comes the price of progress, so I think we're all just going to die. Called it. Down we go. Really? We die, everyone else survives. Opponent exiles a card with the Deathrite Shaman. Opponent activates Treasure Map. Torbran goes down. Oh, there's a Seize the Day. This should do it. It's going to be close. Kind of depends what Etlai hits. Puts him to 1. Seems good. Anguished Unmaking is a decent hit. As is World at War. World at War will definitely end it. Opponent still survives at 1, but they lose a lot of pieces right there. And they go Steel Hellkite X1. Oh, right, they hit me. So no result right there. Yep, and he scoops it up. So Etlai taking it down. Yeah, so I don't know, we just got disrupted. We got disrupted really hard that game. The Vandal Blast got us so hard. We were in such good shape to make a bunch of big plays right there, and just it got us. Man, that's going to happen from time to time, which was very unfortunate. Otherwise, I thought things went pretty well. Like, we were close. We almost had the Sunforger, and then we got wheeled. And then we almost had the Sunforger. We just needed to untap, and then shenanigans from Etlai. And the price of progress, you know, I guess that's just what happens when you play a burn deck. And I guess that's going to be the struggle of Night Tribal. The struggle of Night Tribal is that it's not inherently fast, and it gives opponents a lot of time to just go over the top of you. So that's been the problem that I'm noticing so far, but maybe there's more ways to solve that problem, but it's the issue that I've been seeing right now is that, you know, you're playing these 2/2s, 3/3s, and down comes Greater Hoof Behemoth. Down comes a 6/6 of some kind. You're like, well, it's hard to get past that, but I don't know. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.